Hello, and thank you so much for joining us today. Our company is Puronics, and we are a manufacturer of whole home water treatment systems. My name is Jessie Bones, and the topic of today's webinar is entitled Water Treatment Options, No Salt versus Salt-Based Water Treatment Systems. So without further ado, let's start our presentation. So to introduce our topic today, we'll start with technology and advantages. We know that everyone loves technology and the advantages it provides. But more importantly than that, we want to consider your water quality. We want to understand which solution works best for your water and works best for you. Last but not least, we also want to consider what's on your mind. We'll have a question and answer session where you can let us know your concerns, your comments, your questions, and really any other topic regarding water that you'd like to discuss. Our outline today will include lesson number 1, why should I care about water treatment? Now really the real question is, why shouldn't we care about water treatment? We're going to learn how it's important for our home, our health, and our environment. Also, we'll consider in lesson number 2, no salt systems. How do they work? What are their functions? What are their benefits? Now, we may have heard quite a bit online in the market today about no salt systems. We may be interested in getting one ourselves, but we still may be dazed and confused as to what the best solution is and how exactly they treat our water. So we'll be discussing those topics and those concerns. Lesson number 3, salt-based systems. How do they differ from no salt solutions? What is the function and benefit of salt-based systems? So without further ado, yet again, let's get cracking. For our first lesson, why should I care about water treatment? Reason number 1, our health. People say you are what you eat, but really, more than anything else, you are what you drink. Roughly 60% of our body is made of water. It helps regulate body temperature, digest food, transport nutrients, and much, much more. It's known to help with calorie control. Researchers from Children's Oakland Hospital Institute have found a connection between water consumption and weight loss. Kidney function. Now, unfortunately, the American diet is saturated with high salt content as well as processed food and potentially, for some, alcohol. However, our kidneys can do an amazing job at filtering all of those toxins, granted we have enough water. So, hey, let's drink to that. Cleaner skin. With all the hype, you could say, surrounding anti-aging creams, what we can't say is a scientific fact is water's ability to clear toxins from the body and the skin, which in turn can help reduce the risk of pimples or acne. So if all else fails, drink lots and lots of water. Why should I care about water treatment? Reason number 2. Whoa. Scale buildup inside of hot water heaters increase water heating costs in 2 ways. How can that be? Reason number 1. It reduces the space available in the water heater, so less hot water is produced. Reason number 2. The scale forms an insulated barrier, increasing the energy used to heat the water. Now, if we look at our plumbing here, our picture below, we see that scale formation can also inhibit the flow rate of our water, especially if we have older, congested plumbing and pipes. Imagine this as being a hot water heater. Here we can see the precipitation that was coming from the untreated water, calcium, magnesium, and some trace amounts of lime, can eventually over time fall to the bottom, becoming settlement, causing the homeowner to have to drain the hot water heater. This is definitely something that homeowners and water enthusiasts would want to know about and also be concerned about. Lesson number 1, why should I care about water treatment? Reason number 3, bottled water produces up to 1.5 million tons of plastic waste per year. So further, according to Food and Water Watch, that plastic requires up to 47 million gallons of oil per year to produce. So yes, homeowners may be concerned about the environmental impacts of salt-based systems. However, we should also be concerned of the environmental impacts of all of these water bottles. One estimate has shown that there is now a floating plastic island the size of Texas in the mid-Atlantic. So we do not want a plastic island. We do not want to use 47 million gallons of oil per year. And we certainly don't want to produce up to 1.5 million tons of plastic. So we're really looking for a more environmentally sound solution. What did we learn? Water is important for our health, fluid balance, calorie control, kidney function, clear skin. Our home, scale buildup inside water increases hot heating costs. So by removing that hot water scaling that lines our tankless or our tank-based hot water heaters, we can reduce heating costs. Also, we learned that scale buildup in plumbing can restrict the flow rate of your water. Also, we learned that water is important for our environment. We just saw the picture of 1.5 million tons of plastic. And the alternative is something we want to keep trying to consider finding the solution for. Lesson number 2. Now we're getting into the heart of the lesson, the core, you could say. No salt systems, how do they work? How do they function? How do they treat the water? Advanced filter media converts hard water minerals into microcrystals, minimizing potential scale buildup. Here we see our scale max, right here is pictured in the slide, which will convert hard water minerals into microcrystals. Also, this preserves the health benefits of calcium magnesium, reduces previously formed scale in plumbing over time, and effectively reduces scale formation in hot water heaters. So many people ask, what about the scaling that's already in my pipes? In our last few slides here, we remember seeing this picture. Now, how will a saltless water system help if scaling is already present? It will reduce the scaling in the pipes, but over time. However long it took to solidify and crystallize in your pipes, it will take at least that long to be removed. So yes, we can help you with descaling, but unfortunately, it's going to take time. Back to our presentation. for our next slide, what our systems will do, again, they will help inhibit the growth of bacteria within a filter media bed. So our proprietary Silver Shield hygiene media, which we designed with NASA's engineering department, this here will create a bacteriostatic environment within our systems. Also, our Silvergene hygiene media that's combined or utilizes rather activated carbon block to reduce objectionable chlorine and chloramine, which cause bad tastes and odors. So unlike minerals, bleach has no health benefit and ideally would be removed from our drinking water. Did you know silver has been used as an antibacterial agent for years? In fact, for thousands of years. It was referenced in Egyptian writing. The Greeks used silver vessels for water purification. Silverware was silver. It was for the wealthy, and it helped stave off the bubonic plague because of its bacteriostatic properties. In the 1800s, doctors began to use silver sutures in surgical wounds. And today, we see many doctors and surgeons using silver ointments on burn victims. So it's always been used as an antibacterial agent. However, we were able to infuse it into our activated carbon through biotechnology and harness the power of silver. What did we learn? No salt systems work through descaling. Our scale mat converts hard water minerals into microcrystals, minimizing potential scale buildup. Through bacteriostasis, Silvergene hygiene can inhibit bacteria growth within the filter media bed. And through our advanced activated carbon block and filtration, Silvergene hygiene reduces objectionable chlorine and chloramine, which makes the water taste bad and smell bad. Really, it's just bleach that's added into the city for water treatment. Yes, it is effective in killing bacteria, but it's not something we want to drink. For our next lesson, lesson number 3, salt-based systems. How do they differ from no-salt solutions? Back to our water test. Whoa, wait. No-salt water treatment systems are not water softeners and do not remove hardness from the water? Well, what do you mean by that? That doesn't sound like good news. Why is that so? And how can you prove it? Let's put it this way. I'm going to use my handy dandy little highlighter here. Maybe it'll help us. Water hardness here, our water hardness scale, okay, can be measured in terms of grains per gallon. Essentially, how much calcium magnesium is in each gallon of water. And that's rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, your water could be soft, slightly hard, moderately hard, hard, or very hard, depending on the grain content. Or parts per million. It's another way to measure a water hardness. Now let's say, just for the sake of example here, your water was 7 grains hard, right? It's considered hard water, okay? After going through a no-salt system, your water would still be 7 grains hard. Well, again, that doesn't sound good. What do I mean by that? How can I prove it? Let's go back to our picture. Here we see on the left water that has gone through our no salt system. And on the right, water that has gone through our salt-based system. As we see, this water is being converted into microcrystals to inhibit scale formation. However, we're seeing that the calcium, circle that there, is still very much inside the water. It's not been removed. Again, if the water measured at 7 grains hard before a saltless system or a no salt system, it will still be 7 grains hard after. But with a salt-based system, we see that if the water was 7, then the hardness would be removed. And we can get soft water, 1 or less. So that gives us a little picture, a little idea, and a little crazy yellow drawing that looks like maybe something your 3-year-old would draw. But now that we understand that a little bit more, we want to consider how salt-based systems work. We discussed how no salt systems work, but what is the technology behind salt-based water treatment systems? Please join me as I watch this brief video explaining the difference. Now, for the sake of brevity and for the content of this webinar, I am going to fast forward to the good part. That is the best way to remove hardness. All right, thank you for watching that video with me. So in the video, we learned about the ion exchange process and that it's the best way to remove water hardness. We see again that we have the fixed ionic lattice. We see that we also have the sodium ions that are introduced into the system. We have the ion exchange where the calcium fills inside the system. And we see the salt being expelled from the system. And this again is the ion exchange process used for salt-based water treatment systems. What did we learn? Salt-based systems differ from no-salt solutions in that they do not soften the water in your home. No-salt water treatment systems are not water softeners and do not remove hardness from the water. We also learned that they use different technologies. Descaling technology inhibits scale formation, whereas resin-based salt systems will remove hardness from the water. Finally, we learned that the effectiveness varies with the water quality. No-salt systems work best when the water hardness level is below 3.5, and salt-based systems work best with water hardness that's 3.5 or above. Now, it's good to note that salt-based systems can also work just as well in water that is 1 grain, 2 grain, or 3 grains hard. However, a no-salt system would be a great alternative if this was your water quality. In conclusion, again, we learned about the technology and advantages. We all love technology, but we want to understand how it works. As I mentioned, more importantly, we want to know about your water quality and the solutions that work best for you. Hopefully, now that we've had this discussion, we've had this forum, you may be better educated as to which solution you like best. Now, again, last but not least, my favorite portion, question and answer session. Enough from me. We want to hear from you. We want more water talk. So please let us know what's on your mind. And we'd like to take as many questions as you have. Thank you so much.